Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another trade video. Trade rumors are starting to heat up. It's actually heated up a lot faster than I thought it would. And in this video, we're not just trading Pascal Siakam to the Pacers. We're trading Zach LaVine. We're trading Dejounte Murray. We're trading Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan. There's a lot of teams this offseason that are going to be looking to get better. The Pacers are looking to make a big splash. The 76ers are looking to do a big splash. The Lakers are looking to do a big splash. The Warriors have made everybody on their roster available who isn't named Stephen Curry. I was actually very astonished to hear what the asking price for Dejounte Murray was, because it is fucking shocking, actually. So we got a lot to get into. And just for ha-has, I'm going to give you the Pascal Siakam trade last. I think it's the best Pascal Siakam trade I have been able to think of, or at least the best one that I've seen on the internet, because it kind of makes sense for all parties involved. But I'm going to make you wait to the end of the video for that, just because I like to be a dick. So let's go ahead and get into the first trade here. The first trade is going to be Dejounte Murray from the Atlanta Hawks. And shockingly, it's rumored that Atlanta will take salary filler and 1 first-round pick for Dejounte Murray. And if that's the case, the Minnesota Timberwolves need to get in on this immediately. And a trade that I could see them doing for Dejounte Murray, if the asking price is what they say it is Dejounte Murray for Mike Conley and this 2024 first-round pick that they got. This trade works. Yes, the Hawks are taking on $6 million, but they get off of Dejounte Murray's 5-year contract. They get a pick, and they can let Mike Conley walk in free agency. The Timberwolves become significantly better. They get themselves that playmaking point guard that they've so desperately been looking for. And their team officially becomes, like, amazing. You know, they're a team that, like, they don't got to give up Karl Anthony Towns. They don't got to give up Rudy Gobert. They don't got to give up Anthony Edwards, right? Like, they get to keep everybody. They get to keep Naz Reid. They get to keep Kyle Anderson. This is a trade that would put Minnesota over the top. Like, it would, we know what Dejounte Murray's capable of as a playmaker from when he played in San Antonio. And the idea that the Hawks are looking to get rid of him for such a cheap price is astonishing. Like, that makes me think that the relationship between Dejounte Murray and the Atlanta Hawks, and even Trae Young potentially, has completely soured. When I heard that, like, all they're asking for really is salary filler and a first-round pick after what they gave up to get him, I'm like, yeah, either this is a team that has just decided they're just completely fucking rebuilding, or the relationship is completely soured. The cool thing about this, too, is if they make this trade, Atlanta gets to go into this offseason with a whole shit ton more of cap space that they originally wouldn't have. So the idea that this is a trade that could potentially happen, it's one that I actually like. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, it's a trade that I really, really like a lot. So, another team that would really like to get involved in this is the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they would like to have Dejounte Murray at point. You know, they could give up Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance Jr. and bring in Dejounte Murray and move CJ McCollum to the 2, but then they would have to sign a backup center and stuff like that. So, I don't really know. Also, I don't know if they'd be willing to come off of Dyson Daniels. Like, I would. You know, I'm just saying, like, if I'm the Pelicans, I would. If that's the difference between my team being like a legitimate contender and not being a contender, like, I would do that. But yeah, those are two teams that I think will definitely be in the hunt for Dejounte Murray. There are two teams that are playoff bound, or, you know, the Timberwolves are the number 1 seed. If they can add a guy like Dejounte Murray, then they become a legitimate threat to win. I'm just going to say that. Like, they're already playing great basketball. Dejounte Murray's an all right defender. He can do a little bit of everything. I like this trade a lot. So that's a trade that I like. A lot of people are going to say there's no way that the Hawks would do that. You know, Mike Conley and a first-round pick for Dejounte Murray. And I kind of agree with you, but if that's all the Hawks are asking for is salary filler and a first-round pick, it makes me believe that there's things going on there that are way worse than is being let out to the public. So that's one thing that I like definitely considered with this. So there's that. The next trade I want to do here is Zach LaVine. Honestly, the only team that I could see trading for Zach LaVine is the Orlando Magic, and it's because the Magic and the Chicago Bulls have done a lot of trades in the past together. And this trade is going to be Zach LaVine going to the Magic for Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, and I believe Gary Harris. And there is a 2025 first-round pick included in this. If we try this trade, this works out. The reason I pick Orlando is because really Orlando's the only team with the amount of contracts to make this happen. They have a bunch of guys on their roster that are being paid way more than they're worth. The Bulls are looking to get off Zach LaVine. His contract's fucking insane. But from the Orlando Magic standpoint, right, like you get to give Paolo Banchero some type of number 2, right? Like you get to give him, like, Markelle Fultz is on an expiring deal. Gary Harris is on an expiring deal. Jonathan Isaac's got 2 years left on his deal. He's 26 years old. Markelle Fultz, I believe, is 25. And you get a first-round pick in it in 2025. I think this is a nice deal for Zach LaVine, considering it's probably way more than what they're going to actually get for Zach LaVine. Not a lot of teams in the league seem to be interested in him, and it's because his contract is fucking insane, and he's pretty much only an isolation scorer, and that's about where the train stops on him. But the Orlando Magic are a team I could definitely see trading for him. If you look at their roster, they have Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, they still have Wendell Carter Jr., they still have Mo Wagner, they still have Jalen Suggs, Jet Howard's still on their team. Like, this is a team that could add Zach LaVine to their roster and still be a pretty good team. Jonathan Isaac's a guy who hasn't been getting any minutes. Gary Harris is on an expiring contract, and they're not going to bring him back anyway. And Markelle Fultz is on an expiring deal, and I kind of doubt Orlando's going to bring him back. And Markelle Fultz is only 25, If you're the Bulls, you get to see what Jonathan Isaac is capable of, I think, for 2 years. Get him to be a starter, because if he goes to the Bulls, he's going to be a starter. And the same thing with Markelle Fultz. I think they'll re-sign Markelle Fultz and bring him back, because I'm going to be honest, even though Kobe White's been balling, I don't know if I'm ready to hand the keys to the franchise over to Kobe White immediately. Don't get me wrong, Kobe White's been balling, but I have a feeling the Chicago Bulls might want to pump the brakes on that a little bit, just to see. And Markelle Fultz has been a good player since he's when he plays. He's a guy that when he gets minutes is solid. He's only 25. So I think if you can get 2 young guys or younger guys and a first round pick for Zach LaVine, I think you're winning. And I think this is a trade that both teams would do. You get to keep Anthony Black as well. You get to keep Cole Anthony. They have enough point guards. What they really need is guys who can put the ball in the hoop, and Zach LaVine is capable of that. So, and just the history that's there between the Bulls and the Magic and them trading back and forth with each other. The Wendell Carter Jr. trade, the Nikola Vucevic trade. These are 2 teams that have done business with each other a lot in the past, and I just think this is a trade that benefits both teams a lot. So the next trade is a trade that I really like, and I think a lot of you guys are going to like it too. It involves the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are a team that are looking to improve. I think that's pretty self-evident, right? But they're a team that has always wanted DeMar DeRozan. And this is a team that I think could take DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso, if I can find Alex Caruso, and send them over to the Lakers for D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Taurean Prince. This is a trade that I think is... I honestly kind of like this. I like this trade a lot. The Lakers might have to include a draft pick with this, so they're giving up Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Maybe they give up, I don't know, a 2025 first rounder to the Bulls in exchange with this. But the Lakers get significantly better with this. They get their defensive point guard that they've been looking for. Alex Caruso has been stroking it from 3 all year. They get DeMar DeRozan. DeMar is actually from Los Angeles, or he's from, he's not from Los Angeles, but he's from California. He's from Compton, California. And DeMar DeRozan's been rumored with the Lakers for a very long time. And this is that sneaky move that the Lakers could make that would improve their roster a lot. I mean, Alex Caruso is still a fucking dog on defense. He's shooting the 3 the best he's ever had throughout his career. And DeMar DeRozan is still a 24 point per game scorer. You know what I'm saying? This is a team that, they could get a 3rd star, put him next to LeBron, put him next to AD. You know, you get to keep Rui Hachimura, but, you know, you have to give up Boston Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, but, like, that's the price. You know what I'm saying? The Bulls get Austin Reeves, who I think is really promising. They get Taurean Prince, who's on an expiring deal. They get D'Angelo Russell, who's 27 years old with 2 years left on his deal, and they get a 2025 first-round pick. You know, this is another possibility for the Bulls to do, to get off Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan and still get something decent back. I think getting D'Angelo Russell for DeMar DeRozan is way better return than I think even they expect to get, because he's 34 with 1 year left on his deal. And you get to give up Alex Caruso. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is, man. Like, getting Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell back for DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso is probably way better than they've probably been offered so far for a guy like DeMar DeRozan. So, and the idea that DeMar is actually from California, you know, getting to play with LeBron and AD, I would almost guarantee he would re-sign there for less, because it's his chance to win a ring if this trade were to happen. So, you know, the 2025 first-round pick also from the Lakers is nice if you're a Bulls fan. I like this trade a lot. Like, this is a trade I like way more than the Zach LaVine trade. The Zach LaVine trade, I think, is all right, but I think this trade is a fucking home run for both teams. You know, it's I don't even know what else to say. Like, I think it's that fucking good. So there's that. And lastly, we get to do everyone's favorite trade here, the Pascal Siakam trade. I finally found a trade that makes sense for all parties involved. So we're going to go to the Indiana Pacers, we're going to go to the Toronto Raptors, and we're going to go, team 3 is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. And the trade is Pascal Siakam to the Pacers, Tobias Harris to the Raptors, Bruce Brown to the Sixers, where's Buddy Hield? Buddy Hield to the Sixers as well. And we give Toronto that late 2024 first-round pick that we were offering everybody with Buddy Hield. We'll give him that to the Raptors, and if we try this trade, it works out successfully. Now, why? I know what everyone's going to say, like, why would these teams do this trade? Why would the Raptors give up Pascal Siakam for Tobias Harris and a first-round pick? And why would the 76ers give up Tobias Harris for Bruce Brown and Buddy Hield? Well, the fact of the matter is the 76ers are looking to move off of Tobias Harris's contract. Let's just call it what it is. Even as good as Tobias Harris has been, they're a team that would like to add some depth. Right now, their backup point guard is DeAnthony Melton. You know, the Sixers need three-point shooting, so you could bring in Buddy Hield to fill that Danny Green role. And Bruce Brown's got championship experience. You know, he's a guy that I think would provide something more useful to the 76ers than he can provide to the Pacers. Bruce Brown has a team option, so the 76ers can choose to pick that up if they want or if not. And I'm pretty positive it's something they would, because they get even more depth. The Raptors get Tobias Harris, who I'm positive, I am certain that they can bring back cheaper than Pascal Siakam. And Tobias Harris has been balling. I'm going to call it what it is. Like, Tobias Harris is a guy that has been playing very well, and I almost guarantee that the Toronto Raptors could bring him back for way less than it would cost them to bring back Pascal Siakam. And if you're the Pacers, you've been rumored around Pascal Siakam for God knows how long now, a couple months. And if you're the Pacers, you're not giving up anything that you're going to miss. You know what I'm saying? We know Buddy Hield is on his way out. We know we're not bringing him back. We were willing to offer a first-round pick to somebody just to take Buddy Hield. And the 76ers are going to have cap space. That's the other thing. Like, the 76ers will actually be able to retain Buddy Hield, which I think is nice. You know, if you put a good three-point shooter around Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, suddenly the Sixers look like a good team. You know what I'm saying? And Bruce Brown is just some salary filler to go in with that, because he's a guy that I don't think is coming back. And, you know, we get to take on Pascal Siakam, let him play with Tyrese Halliburton, and potentially re-sign him to a bigger deal, a max contract, more than likely. So, yeah, this is a trade I like for all parties involved. You know, the Raptors aren't doing much. I mean, even if for whatever reason they don't bring back Tobias Harris, I kind of find that's very unlikely, because I feel like they would be able to offer Tobias Harris a lot more money than anybody else could. But I guarantee it's going to be less than whatever they were going to pay Pascal Siakam. I think Tobias Harris realizes he's not worth $40 million a year, hopefully. And it's just like the Sixers have been looking to move off his contract for a while. He's been in trade rumors with the Pacers in the past. You know, at the beginning of the, like towards the start of the season, there was talks that the Pacers were interested in Tobias Harris, but, You know, you could send him to the Raptors and suddenly you have Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Tobias Harris, Jakob Poeltl. You know, obviously Tobias Harris is not the youngest guy in the book. I mean, if I'm correct, he's 31 years old, but at least it's not a total loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tobias Harris is 31, Pascal Siakam is 29, but at least you get to kind of do a retool rather than a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have Emmanuel Quickley, they have RJ Barrett, they have Scotty Barnes, they have Jakob Poeltl still. You can add Tobias Harris to that roster, re-sign him for, I don't know. I don't really know what Tobias Harris is worth. He's worth maybe $30 million a year, but I wouldn't offer him 40. You know, I know his contract says he's worth $39.2 million, but that was a significant overpay for what he actually provides. But he's still an 18-point per game scorer. He's still a guy that's going to get you 6 rebounds and 3 assists. His numbers are close to what Pascal Siakam was averaging for them. Pascal Siakam right now is averaging 22.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 4.9 assists, where Tobias Harris is averaging 18 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. And they're both the same height. They're about the same weight. Like, if you're the Raptors, you at least get to replace Pascal Siakam potentially with a guy who you can re-sign for less and your team can still be somewhat competitive. So this is a trade I like for all teams involved. And I think the 76ers, it's a home run for them. I think the Raptors get, you know, way more than they probably will get for Pascal Siakam, because the longer they wait on this, the less they're going to get for him. And the Pacers get to get what we want. We get Pascal Siakam out of it, and all we're getting rid of is Buddy Hield and Bruce Brown. So if we try this trade, it works for everybody. And that's pretty much it. That's my trade video for today, guys. I know some of these trades are maybe not perfect, but these are just the trades that I thought made a lot of sense for the teams involved. You know, it didn't take me too long to come up with this. It took me maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes. But this is a video that I definitely want to hear your guys' feedback on. What do you guys think of the Pascal Siakam trade, since I know all you guys are Pacers fans for the most part? What do you guys think of each trade? I know the Dejounte Murray trade's a little crazy, but it's just the idea. It's like, if all Atlanta wants is a first-round pick and salary filler for him, then the Raptors should be like, you know, not the Raptors. The Timberwolves should be knocking down their fucking door to get him. Granted, I do think that the Atlanta Hawks can get something better for Dejounte Murray than a first-round pick and Mike Conley. I am going to say that. But that's just a trade that I really, really like for the Timberwolves. And if you're the Timberwolves, who knows? Maybe you include something else, a Leonard Miller or something like that, to maybe entice the Atlanta Hawks to do that. The Timberwolves do have some young talent that they could move off of. But, yeah, these are all trades that I really like. You know, the Timberwolves are one of the few teams as well that actually needs a point guard. That's the other side of this. It's like there's only a handful of teams in the league that really actually need a point guard. It's like Miami, Minnesota, and New Orleans, and that's pretty much about it. That all I can think of at the moment off the top of my head. And, you know, I think the one team that would benefit most from it is Minnesota. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.